morning everyone, it's Friday, December 15th, and this is the 2017 Project for Awesome. Now I'm really excited about this year's Project for Awesome, although to be fair, I'm pretty excited about every year's Project for Awesome, because I'm doing a charity that's really important to me. This year I'm going to be talking about mental health, and specifically NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illnesses. So before I start talking about NAMI, I kind of want to give a background to anyone who's never watched a Project for Awesome video before. So basically every December the internet community gathers together to watch a ton of videos about great nonprofit organizations, like this one. And you can vote on your favorite charity by going into the link in the description. Hopefully you'll like my video and you'll want to vote for NAMI, but we'll get to that later. And then the top, I think, about 20 charities get donations of varying sizes depending on how many votes they got. And it's just a really great way for the internet to give back to all these incredible organizations and for you to see what different people are passionate about. There's this great aspect of people being able to give back to these incredible organizations. But my favorite part is watching the videos and seeing people talk about organizations that mean a lot to them and why they mean a lot. And it's just a really wholesome time of year, and I'm particularly excited for it in a year that has been both globally and personally a little rough. Very rough, even. So thank you for watching my Project for Awesome video, and let's get started. So as I said, this year I'm doing my video on NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which is, as you probably figured out from the name, a national organization dedicated to providing education and support for people living with or affected by mental illness. So for those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Amelia, I'm 19 years old, I live in New York City, and since I was 12, I've struggled with depression and anxiety. Mental illness is something I've struggled with for a good portion of my life, and it's something that's really important to me. I did my first ever Project for Awesome video about an incredible organization called To Write Love on Her Arms, and this year I'm talking about NAMI. I decided I wanted to bring it back to mental illness this year because I've had a particularly rough year. In February this year I had a really bad depressive episode, probably the worst that I've had since I was 14, and I've been dealing with that for the past 10 months. I'm very fortunate to have an excellent team, both personally and professionally, to help me work through this, but there are a lot of people who don't have the same privilege. And NAMI is a really incredible organization that helps provide support and education, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why I think education is so important. In my opinion, one of the best things that NAMI does is provide educational opportunities for people about mental illness. And I think that this is so important because mental illness is not only widely misunderstood and stigmatized, but it's really, really complex. And the hardest thing about living with mental illness is how isolating it can feel. And I think that it's really important for people who deal with it, such as myself, to be surrounded by people who are trying their best to understand it, which is a really, really difficult task. And I give a lot of credit to the people in my life who have worked so hard to do that, because it's not easy. But NAMI helps make it a little bit easier. They have classes all across the country for parents, family members, educators, to all learn a little bit more about mental illness, which I think is just incredible. It's absolutely incredible, and it's a huge task. It is monumental. It's so much more than an intro to psychology class. And I'm really, really glad that there's an organization that's providing this. In addition to their education classes, NAMI has a hotline, so no matter where you are, you can call in and receive support any time of the day. One of the most important things that NAMI does is, across the country at their various locations, run a number of support groups for people living with mental illness and people who are affected by mental illness. So whether it's you or a family member or a very close friend, there's probably a group that you can go to. For the past 6 months, I've been lucky enough to attend an intensive therapy program that includes 3 times a week group therapy. It's not run by NAMI because I didn't know that NAMI had one until about a month ago. But this group has really changed my life. And on my very first day, I had this moment when I was talking. No, I wasn't talking. One of the members of my group was talking, and they said something that I felt so strongly and related to so much that for months I had convinced myself I was the only person that felt the things I felt and thought the way I thought, and that there was no one else on the entire planet who understood what I was going through. And within my first hour and 15 minutes of group therapy, I realized that I wasn't the only one. And that, it's beyond words what that did for me. NAMI's motto is "You are not alone." And for a lot of people that might sound really obvious, and for a lot of other people that might sound like a lie. But it's such an important thing to be aware of, that there are a lot of people who feel very, very alone because of their mental illness. And if you're one of those people, I'm here and NAMI is here to let you know that that is not the case, no matter how much your brain tries to convince you that it is. I promise you, you are not alone. I found out about NAMI through a quick Google search. They have so much information on their website, it really is helpful. I hope that no matter who you are, no matter where you are, you will consider supporting NAMI, whether it's by something as simple as voting for NAMI in the Project for Awesome, or by donating if you're able to, or just by sharing this video, or telling people about it. If you have someone in your life who's dealing with mental illness, please, please, please reach out to them, remind them they're not alone, remind them that whether it's you or a hotline or a support group, there is someone there who's going to help them. And if you're one of those people, it's going to be okay. Happy Project for Awesome.